I awoke in a room bathed in flickering candlelight, the cold touch of stone against my back sending shivers through my paralyzed body. Panic gripped me as I realized I couldn't move, not a finger, not a muscle. It was as if I were trapped within my own body, a silent witness to the unfolding horror. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something metallic, like blood. Shadows danced ominously along the walls, cast by the erratic glow of candles placed strategically around the room. Fear clenched my throat, but when I tried to scream, no sound emerged. My voice had deserted me in this nightmarish prison. Footsteps echoed in the distance, a slow, deliberate rhythm that sent chills down my spine. I strained my eyes against the darkness, searching for the source of the sound. Then, from the shadows emerged a figure, a tall, slender silhouette draped in a hooded cloak, moving with an unsettling grace. It approached with measured steps, its face concealed beneath the hood. Cold fingers wrapped around my throat, squeezing with a grip that threatened to crush my windpipe. The figure leaned in close, its breath chilling against my ear.
"You cannot speak,"
it murmured, its voice a haunting blend of menace and sorrow.
"but you can see, you can feel, and that is all I need."
A sharp prick pierced my arm, a needle injecting cold, viscous liquid into my veins. Agony erupted within me, every nerve screaming with pain. Tears streamed down my cheeks as my body convulsed, locked in a prison of immobility. Hours passed in a haze of torment as the figure continued its cruel ministrations, extracting something vital with each excruciating injection. Memories blurred, dreams and nightmares intertwining into a surreal mosaic of agony and despair. In fleeting moments of consciousness, I glimpsed a vial on the figure's belt, a swirling black liquid that filled me with dread. It was stealing something from me, draining my essence bit by bit, leaving me hollow and helpless. When the figure finally withdrew, leaving me gasping and trembling, the room fell into an eerie silence. I lay there, a shell of my former self, haunted by the realization that I had been violated in the most intimate way, stripped of agency, robbed of voice, and forever changed. As darkness threatened to claim me, a flicker of movement caught my eye, a hidden alcove obscured by shadows. Trembling, I strained to see, heart pounding in my chest. There, tucked away in the darkness, were rows of glass jars, each containing a faint, pulsating light. With a surge of terror, I recognized them. They held the essence of others like me, stolen and imprisoned in this malevolent sanctuary. Faces contorted in silent anguish, eyes pleading for release from their spectral prisons. But the horror did not end there. As I lay paralyzed, a voice echoed in my mind. A voice that was not my own, whispering secrets of unspeakable atrocities committed in this place. The figure, it seemed, was not alone. There were others, unseen but ever present, orchestrating a macabre symphony of suffering. Days blurred into nights as I languished in that chamber of horrors, my mind a battleground of terror and madness. Each passing moment brought new revelations, each injection a further descent into darkness. Then, one fateful night, as the figure leaned over me with needle in hand, a surge of defiance coursed through my veins. With every ounce of strength left in me, I fought against the paralysis that held me captive. Inch by agonizing inch, I regained control of my body. Muscles strained and screamed in protest as I pushed against the invisible shackles that bound me. With a primal scream, a sound born of primal fear and unyielding resolve, I broke free. The figure recoiled in surprise, its hood falling back to reveal a face twisted with rage and desperation. Before it could react, I lunged forward, grappling for the vial of swirling darkness that had been the source of my torment. The struggle was fierce, a desperate clash between predator and prey. With a final, desperate effort, I smashed the vial against the cold stone floor. Darkness erupted in a cacophony of shattered glass and swirling shadows, and then, silence. The figure crumpled to the ground, its form dissipating like mist in the morning sun. The room grew still, the candles burning low as if exhausted by the horrors they had witnessed. I staggered to my feet, limbs trembling with exhaustion and newfound freedom. The faces trapped in the glass jars watched me with silent gratitude, their spectral forms fading into nothingness as if released from an invisible tether. With one last glance at the Chamber of Nightmares, I stumbled into the cold embrace of the outside world. The night air was crisp and clean, a stark contrast to the stale, oppressive atmosphere of the room I had escaped. As I made my way through the darkness, a sense of relief washed over me. I was free from the silent torment that had held me captive, free from the clutches of the figure and its malevolent masters. But even as I walked away, a chilling thought lingered in the recesses of my mind. I was not the first to suffer at their hands, nor would I be the last. The figure had spoken of others, unseen but ever present, continuing their grim work in the shadows. And somewhere in the depths of that cursed sanctuary, a new victim lay paralyzed, their voice stolen, their essence drained, a silent testament to the horrors that lurked in the darkness. Part 2. Days turned into restless nights haunted by the memories of that accursed chamber. Every shadow seemed to hold a whisper, every flickering light a reminder of the darkness I had escaped. Determination grew within me like a flame fed by an unseen wind. I could not rest knowing that others might suffer as I had. I sought refuge in the bustling city of Chicago, its towering skyscrapers and bustling streets a stark contrast to the desolate silence of my captivity. Here, amidst the noise and anonymity, I began my quest for answers. Through sleepless nights and tireless research, I uncovered fragments of a hidden truth buried deep within the annals of obscure history, a clandestine organization known as the Silent Harvesters. They operated in the shadows, preying on the unsuspecting, stealing their essence to fuel some dark purpose beyond mortal comprehension. The figure that had haunted my nightmares had a name among the whispered rumors: the Veiled Collector. An enigmatic entity rumored to be neither living nor dead, but something older and more sinister. Its motives remained shrouded in mystery, its presence a malevolent specter haunting the fringes of reality. Armed with newfound knowledge and a burning resolve, I assembled a small team of allies, a diverse group united by their own brushes with the occult and a shared desire to confront the darkness that threatened to consume us all. Sarah, a tech-savvy hacker with a sharp wit and an uncanny ability to navigate the digital underworld. James, a former military medic whose calm demeanor masked a fierce determination and a proficiency in combat tactics. And Maya, a historian specializing in ancient civilizations, her scholarly expertise now focused on unraveling the secrets of the Silent Harvesters. Together, we returned to the city's underbelly, guided by whispered leads and cryptic clues left behind by those who had crossed paths with the Veiled Collector. Each step brought us closer to our quarry, closer to the heart of darkness that had ensnared so many unsuspecting souls. Our first breakthrough came in the form of an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city, a nondescript facade hiding a labyrinthine network of hidden passages and forgotten catacombs. Here, amidst the dust and decay, we uncovered the remnants of rituals long since abandoned, arcane symbols etched into crumbling stone.
"This is it,"
Maya murmured, her voice echoing in the dimly lit chamber.
"The Silent Harvesters use places like this to channel their dark energies."
James scanned the shadows with a practiced eye, hand resting on the hilt of a concealed blade.
Keep your guard up.
He cautioned, his military training kicking in.
We don't know what else might be lurking in these tunnels.
Sarah, hunched over a portable computer, nodded grimly.
"I'm tracing the energy signatures,"
she reported, fingers flying across the keyboard. "There's a strong source deeper inside. That's where they'll be." With silent nods, we pressed forward, hearts pounding in anticipation and fear. The air grew colder as we descended deeper into the bowels of the earth, the faint hum of unseen machinery reverberating through the stone walls. Suddenly, we stumbled upon a chamber bathed in an unnatural glow, a pulsating nexus of swirling darkness, much like the vial that had held my stolen essence. At its center stood figures in hooded robes, their voices chanting in an ancient tongue that sent chills down our spines. "We have to stop them," I whispered, my throat tight with both dread and determination. James drew his blade, eyes steely with resolve.
Stay close,
he urged, leading the charge with calculated precision. Sarah's fingers danced over her computer, hacking into the unseen systems that powered the sinister ritual.
"I'm shutting them down,"
she declared, her voice tinged with urgency. Maya's eyes gleamed with scholarly fervor as she deciphered the symbols etched into the chamber walls.
This is their source of power.
She explained, voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around us.
If we can disrupt it...
But our advance was met with fierce resistance. The robed figures turned as one, their faces hidden behind masks of shadow and malice. Arcane energies crackled in the air as they unleashed a barrage of dark sorcery, forcing us to dodge and weave through the onslaught. In the midst of the chaos, Sarah cried out in pain as a bolt of energy grazed her shoulder. James lunged forward, deflecting another attack with his blade, his movements a blur of trained reflexes and sheer determination.
We can't hold them off much longer,
he shouted over the din, eyes scanning for an opening. Then, Maya's voice cut through the chaos, filled with grim resolve.
I'll hold them off,
she declared, stepping forward with a courage born of desperation.
Get to the source, shut it down.
No, I protested, but she silenced me with a determined look.
Go,
she urged, voice unwavering.
We knew the risks, now go!
With a heavy heart, we obeyed, trusting in Maya's sacrifice to buy us the precious seconds we needed. Together, we charged toward the pulsating nexus, dodging spells and weaving through the tumultuous fray. Sarah's fingers flew faster over her computer, bypassing security protocols and overriding ancient wards.
Almost there,
she gasped, sweat beading on her brow. James fought like a whirlwind at my side, his blade carving a path through our adversaries. Keep going, he shouted, voice hoarse with exertion. And then, with a final keystroke and a surge of collective will, Sarah deactivated the arcane machinery. Darkness erupted in a cataclysmic wave, consuming everything in its path, the robed figures, the chamber, and the pulsating nexus itself. The world spun in a maelstrom of chaos and light, the ground trembling beneath our feet. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, silence descended like a shroud. The chamber lay in ruins, its secrets buried beneath layers of rubble and ancient stone. Breathless and battered, we emerged from the wreckage, our hearts heavy with both victory and loss. Maya's sacrifice had paved the way for our escape, her spirit a guiding light in the darkness that had threatened to engulf us. As we made our way back to the surface, a sense of solemnity settled over us, a silent acknowledgement of all those who had fallen victim to the silent harvesters, and those who had fought to bring an end to their reign of terror. But even as we emerged into the cool night air, a chill lingered in the shadows, a reminder that the veiled collector and its dark masters still lurked in the hidden corners of the world, waiting for their next unsuspecting prey. And somewhere, amidst the echoes of our victory, Maya's voice whispered in the wind, a testament to courage, sacrifice, and the unyielding spirit of those who dared to defy the darkness.